Sometimes, sometimes anime be hidden real. Like you watch an anime and you're like, oh yeah, I'm definitely that character. Especially when the character is jacked for some reason. You're like, yeah, I'm definitely that character. You're not. But there are other animes that you watch and you really connect with them. You really feel like, oh, I'm this person. Like it's very relatable. There's been very few animes that I've watched where I'm like, yeah, I'm this character. And there's an anime that that I recently started watching where I can be like, yeah. And you're probably wondering why? Because he's a suave Latino? No, because he has a dog that is just like laying like spread chicken on the floor. No, because he's a drummer. No, because he is the pinnacle of human evolution. No, it's because he's a guy, soulless, void of any will to live, because he works in the entertainment industry. Yep, that's yeah. So Zoom, Zoom 100 Bucket List of the Dead is the story of this guy whose name I cannot remember to save the life of me, who works in the entertainment industry, and one day he wakes up and the world is just full of zombies, and there he is at his work. It's full of zombies, and then he realizes he doesn't have to go to work again because the zombies are, they brought the end of the world. And the only thing that keeps him with the biggest smile on his face is the fact that he doesn't have to go to work. Like, he's so happy. And I'm like, honestly, this anime should have been. It's obviously treated for the laughs. It's got good comedy and everything, but I just like want to open a big parenthesis into why this is one of the saddest things I've seen. It is because in Japanese culture, the work ethic is like you work yourself to death, sometimes literally. And obviously, we have these fantastic stories like Spy Family, Assassination Classroom, Jujutsu Kaisen, and we all see these characters with like big over the moon personalities with wacky outfits and wacky hair colors and stuff like that, all of which are usually taboo in Japan, that are not necessarily well looked at, especially like when you see an anime that is in a school setting, and you see the girls wearing like attractive outfits, revealing outfits with like bright colored hair, which is completely frowned upon in Japan. So clearly, the Japanese, whenever they make some mangas or animes, they are reflecting what maybe they wish society would be like. They're expressing themselves there because in Japanese society is not necessarily very well seen when you express yourself that way. Ask any blonde person who goes to school in Japan. You'll see what I'm talking about. So whenever I saw this anime, clearly the person who wrote this, and I haven't done my research yet, so this is a complete assumption, he's worked himself to death, or he's been part of an industry that has overworked him and made him like wish that the end of the world would just arise so he doesn't have to go to work. So whenever I started watching this series, it was honestly very sad to see that possibly one person does have their apartment looking like this, where it's just trash, and he just comes back home to sleep and immediately the next day go to work again. But anyways, aside from the soulless void that it is the adult life, I just gotta say this is a fantastic series. I haven't finished it yet because I'm watching it in dub in Spanish. And you can say, "Oh, you dub watchers, you suck." I don't give a shit. Watch whatever you want, however you want it, and enjoy it. That's honestly the only thing that should matter. But I love the Spanish dub of this series. I think it's fantastic. And I'm really loving like the character designs. They have this tenderness to them, and the artistic representation of blood in the zombies, sometimes by just a multicolored blood where it's like green, purple, yellow. It just gives an emphasis to how colorful the world is to our protagonist, since he doesn't have to go to work anymore. And the world becomes so alive when it's just death. Yeah, like when the zombies arrive, finally we get to see a world full of color, even though it's supposed to be blood. It's just colorful, and it just gives you this nice feeling that somehow everything is fine. And back when we were before the end of the world, before the zombies, it was just depressing. It was very gray, very dull, and it definitely gives a good contrast on that. Now, the only thing that I have to say, the one take that I definitely want to give you guys from this experience that I've had watching this anime, aside from obviously watch it because it's really good, the opening is fantastic too, is how it gives you a lesson. Follow what makes you happy. Like, I saw this, not necessarily billboard. I think it's a meme that said, 20 years from now, the only people that will remember whether you stayed at work late is going to be your children. And there's this mindset in today's culture, not just Japanese culture, but the American culture of like the grind, always grinding yourself to death because yeah, you gotta be successful, you gotta sacrifice, you gotta do this, and I think this series is a good window of like how toxic that can be. How sometimes no, you don't have to grind all the time. You don't have to overwork yourself to death. You can just enjoy life sometimes. Enjoy life while you have it, while you can. Sometimes you have just enough, and that is just enough good. So, yeah. I mean, is this a review? No, because I haven't finished the series. This is just me sharing my experience on a series that I just started watching. And if you find any sort of um, interest from this, then go ahead and watch it. Other than that, that's it. Let me know if you watch it or if you've read the manga. Don't give any spoilers. All right.